that a lot of what Revelation teaches about this empire is still future. Okay, and I think this is the thing that struck me as I read this. A lot of this stuff is still future. So we're going to see some of the things that's going to befall us in the future as we study Revelation 13. But anyway, the rise of the Roman Empire. The fourth beast, Roman Empire. It was gradual. Its rise was gradual. By 301 BC, Alexander's empire was divided into four later, three Hellenistic kingdoms. In 190, this is when Rome started, really got started a little bit. And in 190 BC, Rome took the Seleucid territory of Antiochus. In 168, at the Battle of Pydna, Rome ended the monarchy of Macedonia. So this is when he took the Greece kingdom. Rome ended the monarchy in Macedonia. Rome ended the Seleucid kingdom of Syria in 68 BC, and the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt in 30 BC. So over a period, actually, most historians give the date of the Roman Empire starting at about 168 BC. And then it increased in strength. That's why I said that John wrote the Revelation at about AD 100, somewhere maybe AD 90, between AD 90 and 100. So he was at pretty much at the right in the thick of the Roman Empire when it was just rapidly growing. And then they'd already conquered everybody, so he was at the peak of it. All right, here in 7:7. After this, I kept looking in that well, and it devoured and crushed and trampled down the remainder with its feet. Now, these four beasts that Daniel sees, three of them, they were terrible beasts, and they were wicked. But the Roman Empire exceeded everything that had been seen before. It devoured and crushed and trampled down the remainder with its feet. It devoured. Rome destroyed and killed whole cities. One of the cities that Rome completely eradicated was Corinth. All right, it killed everything. And it stepped residue. When Rome did not destroy or subjugate a people, it often employed them as slaves or sold them into slavery. So it either destroyed you or you became a slave. In this sense, it was different from the other empires. It was just a cruel, and that's where it's implied to be guaranteed. From all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. While I was contemplating the 10 horns, behold, another horn, a little one, came up. Among them, and 3 of the first horns were pulled out by the roots. Now, I know you've been to Revelation seminars. You've seen all this stuff in the posters and everything, and it's hard to keep some of them apart. Let me give you just a slight little try here. We'll see. 3 of the little, the first horn, the little horn, who was the little horn? Papacy, all right? The little horn, the papacy. Among the principal instructions to the rise of the papacy of papal Rome were the Heruli, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. Okay, we had 10 tribes, the 10 horns here. These were the 3 that's going to be up placed. The other 7 are the Visigoths, the Franks, the Suevi, the Almani, the Anglo-Saxons, the Lombards, and the Burgundians, okay? But these 3, the Heruli, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths, were supporters of Arianism. And this was the religion that, in particular, was completely, totally opposed to the Catholics. The Ostrogoths thought that the Catholic religion was that they were a bunch of heretics. Well, looking back, in retrospect, what do you think? I think the Ostrogoths were probably closer right than others. The Heruli, the Heruli 746 deposed Romulus Augustus as the last emperor of the West. Okay, Constantine had set up the Roman Empire at that time. He had moved his part to Constantinople in Turkey. All right, and Augustus was the last ruler in Rome. And the reason this is important is because it's making a way for the popes to rule in Rome and the emperor to rule in Constantinople. But the Heruli in 746 deposed Romulus Augustus, the last emperor of the West. They were defeated in 489 by the Ostrogoths. The Vandals invaded Carthage in 439. They were very intolerant of the Catholics. Emperor Justinian sent his general Belisarius in 534 and completely vanquished the Vandals. Okay, so the Heruli are gone, the Vandals are gone. Belisarius began a campaign against the Ostrogoths in 534 and drove them out of Rome. This campaign lasted 20 years. The Ostrogoths came back in 537. They besieged Rome, had them besieged for a year, and then Justinian landed another army in Italy, and they abandoned Rome, and this was in 538. Now, what is an important day in 538? This is the day that we say that is the beginning of the papal part of the Roman Empire, okay? It is also the beginning of this time period that we find in Daniel. The time and times and dividing of times and the 42 months that we find in Revelation are the 1260 days, okay? So historically, it all is tied together and it just falls in place. Justinian issued 2 edicts in 533 in which he legally confirmed the Bishop of Rome as the head of all the holy churches and head of all the holy priests of God. This is very important. Okay, now he's got the backing of the state that gives him the legal authority to control the church. Without the Bishop of Rome, he's the head of the church. What do they claim for themselves now? They're the head of the church. What does Catholic mean? Universal, right? So what is his church? He claims to be universal, worldwide. Well, that's not true. No, not yet. It has been, but here's the thing. It will be again. And this is what we have to watch, okay? Because it's coming, folks. Of the Holy Church and of all the holy priests of God. In the latter edict, he also commends the papal activities as corrector of heresies. It took effect, guess when? 538. All right, after the Ostrogoths, okay? So it all started falling into place. And then, and behold, the horn possessed eyes like the eyes of a man, and mouth uttering great boasts. Look at Daniel 15:17. These great beasts, Daniel 7:17 through 19, I think is what I'm looking at. And then we get back to Revelation. No, 19. Then I deserved to know the exact meaning of the fourth beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its claws of bronze, in which devoured, crushed, and trampled down the remainder with its feet. And the meaning of the 10 horns that were on its head, and on the other horn which came up, and before which 3 of them fell, namely that horn which had eyes and a mouth uttering great boast, and which were larger in appearance than its associates. And I kept looking, and that horn was waging war with the saints and overpowering them. Revelation chapter 12, said the woman was going to be hidden for how long? 1,260 years. And this is what happened. Until the ancient of days come, then down to verse 25, he will speak out against the Most High and wear down the saints of the highest one, and he will intend to make alterations in times and in law, and they will be given into his hands for a time and half a time. All right. Now let's go back to Revelation 13, and then we're looking at verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been slain, and his fatal wound was healed, and the whole earth was amazed and followed after the beast. Okay? What happened here? One of these horns, one of these heads, which head was this? Okay? This was the papacy. Now what happened there? What happened to that head? 1798, Napoleon he sent Berthier, his general, to Rome. They took the Pope prisoner, brought him back to France, and he died there. Okay? So his wound, he was wounded like he was killed. And this should have been the end, because France just declared the Roman Church null and void. All right? Captured the Pope, and he died. But he revived. And that's something. All right, all right.